I got to start with this. The NFL decided to tweak their overtime rules in the playoffs. I'm good with it. I'm good with the current overtime, but I do think in the playoffs there's data that shows that the better quarterbacks get the ball first in the playoffs, they win. What did you make of the NFL moving off their traditional overtime?
Well, I think it was necessary. I mean, I think you have to think about not just players and coaches, but I think you need to think about the fans. And everybody was left dissatisfied with what happened at the end of the Kansas City Buffalo game. And I think it's a simple tweak. So, this was easier than the first tweak where they actually, made it to where it was a 2-possession game if you didn't score a touchdown on the first series. But I just think this is fair. And I think sometimes you have to change rules that are simple and that are fan friendly. And I applaud the fact that they're making this change.
Okay, so USFL, you helped create the overtime rule for them. What is it?
Well, we're going to do shootout. I mean, we wanted to try something different. Again, we want to listen to the fans. What's exciting to the fans? And a lot of people said they like the soccer shootout. And so we thought, well, let's adopt that into football. And so we're going to have a 3-play shootout. So each team gets 3 plays. Team A will get the first shot. Team B then gets a play, 2 points for each successful attempt. And you'll run 3 series. And then if it's whoever wins after the 3 series or has the most points wins. If it's tied, then we'll go into sudden death series. And I think it's every play then becomes extremely exciting.
Hey, by the way, the NFL has a history of watching other leagues and taking their stuff. So the truth is, if this is really good and it's got a soccer-style sudden death, I wouldn't be shocked if the NFL says, we're taking Pereira's idea and we're going to bring it to the NFL. I mean, you were there. Yeah. They took stuff from the XFL, didn't they?
Well, we took stuff from colleges. I mean, you watch all levels to see where you might make some improvements. And, the new USFL is working now with the NFL. And, we have one simple change in the punting game with the NFL is really concerned about the safety of the punting game. It's mostly the gunners and the return players. So we're working with them. We've moved the gunner inside so he can't run out of bounds. We're doing some things working with them. So the NFL is smart. I mean, when I was there, we were doing the same thing. We were watching all levels of football. And we had the USFL then, Colin, too. So we would experiment with things at the the NFL Europe, sorry.
Yeah.
And so we're going to do the same thing now. They're going to do the same thing with us.
Okay, I don't like the NFL's pass interference penalty because I don't think 50-yard penalties are fair. I like the way college does it. I think college has a better pass interference rule where it's 15 yards. So what are you guys doing in the USFL?
Well, I'll tell you, that was my one rule that I most disliked in the NFL. And I went to every competition committee meeting and said, let us change this. Let's go to the college rule. It's the hardest call in the field to make.
Yes.
It carries the most punitive yards. I said, I sat in my office and reviewed video, and nothing hurt me more than to see a 40-yard pass interference penalty, and the call was incorrect. It shouldn't have been made. So I pushed, and I never made any progress. So when I got involved in this, in many cases, the rules committee was me. So I said, we're going to the college rule. So same thing, maximum 15-yard penalty, except in that rare occurrence where it is so blatantly flagrant that the defender gets beat and he just wraps the guy up and tackles him, then we'll make that a spot foul. That decision is going to be made by the replay center, which is another element that I think is really exciting. The replay center will make that determination on whether or not it is a deliberate, flagrant foul. I would say to you, 98% of all pass interference calls are run of the mill. They're not the flagrant ones, but to me, it makes it more fair. And I used to say to the committee, how could you justify a 40-yard pass interference on the defense, but then the offense does it, and it's 10 yards and no loss of down? It just never seemed fair. So that's a change I'm really excited about.
Finally, PATs. A couple years ago, the NFL said, let's be less boring. People go to the fridge and get a beer after the touchdown. Let's make people stick around for 5 minutes. And it has been wildly effective. We had no idea these kickers, it gets into their head. PATs now are flying off to the right and left. What's the USFL rule on PATs?
So we're going to go traditional with the twist. So we'll go the regular 1 point, extra point kick. If you snap the ball from the 15 and it's good, you get 1 point. If you run a scrimmage play from the 2-yard line, you get 2 points. But we've thrown the element of a third attempt. That's a 3-point attempt. Snap the ball from the 10-yard line. It's a scrimmage play. You score, you get 3 points. So what does that do? It actually means that a 9-point game is a 1-score game,
That's
not
right.
an 8-point game.
Yeah.
So we're keeping it closer in the fourth quarter, which is something that we really wanted to do.
Yeah, so that's the key to that rule, is that I trail by 9, I can actually tie the game. So, and that is something I'm interested about. That if I have Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen, I'm down 9, a 10-yard play. I just watched 13 seconds become an exit for the Buffalo Bills. All right, Mike Pereira, former NFL VP of officiating, now with the USFL. Great to see you. You got the colors on. Love it. Thanks, man.
You got it.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.